Absolutely unbelievable. It's a tie game! Woo! Finally! Go Leafs, go! It's not baseball, but let's see a rally. Let's go Leafs!
My sound was off. Okay, well, I guess I got to do all that over again. All right. Feels good to be back. It feels good to be back, Leafs Nation. How's everyone doing? Let me know in the comments section. How are you feeling about this big dub to start the season? A 2-1 victory over the Montreal Canadiens. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. I see some of the regulars. Nice to see all you back. ASE, welcome back. Joe Shelder, Real Hockey is back. Let's go. Big dubs for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. 2-1 victory over the Montreal Canadiens, and there's a lot of interesting storylines heading into this game. Perhaps the biggest is revenge for the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is something that I don't think they could attain. It's not possible to attain losing a 7-game series in one game of a regular season. So that's just not going to happen. You're not going to get the revenge. The Toronto Maple Leafs need to do a lot more to get that revenge that they really desire to get against Montreal. The other storyline I want to focus on heading into this game was the injuries. Austin Matthews, Ilya Mikheyev out for Toronto. Significant losses to their lineup. But when you look at the other side, Montreal, they're really hurting. We all know what's going on with Carey Price. He's out. Shea Weber, out. Joel Edmondson, out. Those are big losses for the Montreal Canadiens. They did get Jonathan Drouin back, however, and he made an impact in his first game back. He scored the opening goal of the season for the Montreal Canadiens, the opening goal of this game. But big response from Pierre Engvall. That's right. Might not be who you expected to score the first Leafs goal, but the first Leafs goal was scored by Pierre Engvall. Let's go. Great contributions. You love to see it from everyone in the lineup, especially this early in the season. Great way to start the season for sure. Campbell was outstanding. Yes, Jack Campbell looked great. There's been a lot of speculation about how's Jack Campbell going to perform in his second season as the Leafs starting goaltender. How's he going to perform? How's he going to do in a full 82-game season? Well, luckily he's not going to play 82 games. We have Peter Mrazek. He will get the start tomorrow in Ottawa, but Jack Campbell out there was outstanding, doing his thing. And I love the way that he was protecting his crease out there. You saw him shoving Brandon Gallagher, giving him a couple shots. And why not? These two teams are familiar with each other. Crazy stat about Toronto, Montreal. 11 of the last 13 games the Toronto Maple Leafs have played against. 11 of the last 13 games the Maple Leafs have played have come against the Montreal Canadiens. And I'm always in to watch a Toronto-Montreal game. I love the intensity in this rivalry. It's the oldest rivalry in hockey. It's the greatest rivalry in hockey. But I gotta say, it's getting a bit annoying seeing the same two teams line up all the time, isn't it? That's just my opinion. What do you think? Are you getting sick of seeing Toronto, Montreal? Because it doesn't matter. We're going to see other teams, another former North Division team tomorrow night, but we're going to see other teams. And that's really exciting. A full 82 game season. And yeah, this is going to be a long season. I'm going to be on here doing these post game streams as often as I can. I will be here tomorrow night after the Ottawa Senators game. However, Saturday night, I will not be streaming for that one. I'll try to do Monday next week against the Rangers. ASC says, played them 21 times in the last 2 seasons. Yeah, that's a lot. And I love seeing these two teams match up, but when you see a team 11 of your last 13 meetings, stuff's going to get familiar. As you saw out there tonight, there's not much room to move when these two teams are playing. Frank Rusty Nails, Nylander, ever since the playoffs, is playing as a more matured player. And yeah, Frank Rusty Nails, great comment. William Nylander stepping up in the big time moment tonight. Game winning goal. The game winning goal goes to Willie Styles, Will Nye, the scoring guy. And that's his first of the season. And that was a nice goal. Great spot right in the top corner where Jake Allen couldn't get it. I do think he is playing as a more matured player, though. It does seem that way. Today, when Mitch Marner got that tripping call and the referee was over at the bench, I, I I was surprised because the person I saw talking to the referee from the players was William Nylander. He's showing leadership on the bench, as ASC just says with this comment, and his play speaks for itself. Leading by example, William Nylander. I like it. I like it. And that's a great point from Frank Rusty Nails. Great comment. Seemed like the Leafs were playing with more grit today. Good to see. It's a start. It's a start. But anytime, of course, anytime Montreal and Toronto's playing each other, it's going to be intense. It's going to be more of a gritty game, especially in the first game of the year when a lot of the guys in the bottom six are really trying to solidify their spot for the season. Woo! 582 days. It's been 582 days since the last time Leafs Nation has been able to go to Scotiabank Arena to witness a Leafs home game. 582 games. That's way too long. Today that streak ended, and I gotta say, that atmosphere, I thought it was going to be a bit louder, but I think the TV kind of muted out the actual crowd noise a bit. I think that atmosphere looked great, and wow, when John Tavares got his intro, his name called for that entrance, and then you saw the national anthem. The lead singer was singing a bit, but then just gave it to the crowd. That gave me chills, goosebumps watching that. And I can't wait to go to some Leafs games later this year. I'm going to try to make it to some games later in the year. Kudos to David Kampf and Andre Kasha having a great game. Two new fan favorites. Yeah, this is these are two guys that were brought in to fill some important roles on this in this forward group. These are guys that they're gonna get moved around in the lineup throughout the season. I think great performances from them tonight. Definitely, um, you love to see it. You love to see it in game one. You need everyone to contribute. Joe says, I'm all down for ending streaks this year. Let's go after that 50 plus one. 50 plus year one next, eh? Hopefully. Hopefully, but hey, I'm not gonna get back on that. No. No, it's too early. Game one of the season. I'm not gonna overreact. Not even gonna go there. Not gonna do it. Camp will help out on the penalty kill. I believe he will. Yes, David Kampf is definitely going to help out on the penalty kill. And I loved what I saw from the Maple Leafs penalty kill tonight, killing that big 5-on-3 in the third period. Big performance from the penalty kill. That power play, I thought it looked better. I liked what I saw. It's hard to have a power play that's going to be successful when your top performer on the power play is out, Austin Matthews. That really puts a fork in your plans offensively and what you're going to do on the power play. Either way, the power play did look better. I think I liked what William Nylander. I liked where he was placed. I like William Nylander back at the point. I think he can. It allows him to play much more freely. He can shoot the puck, and he's not a guy that's going to stand in front of the net and get too many deflections. So having him back there, he can retrieve pucks on the penalty kill because he's a speedy guy. I like William Nylander at the point. Um, that power play did have a goal, but it wasn't really a power play goal technically. Pierre Engvall on that first one. It was great to see. So, you know who scored the first goal of the Maple Leaf season?
Pure Engvall.
I just wanted to throw that in there. Pierre Engvall scored the first goal of the Maple Leaf season. It's not who you would have expected. Jake Allen played great in net for the Habs. Yeah, he looked all right. One thing I will say is I don't think there were that many high percentage scoring opportunities for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I didn't think there was that many out there, but Allen did play well for net for the Montreal Canadiens in net, and he has big skates to fill in the absence of Carey Price. Nylander's goal was a beauty. Yeah, that Nylander goal was a beauty. I loved seeing that shot, the way it just went over the shoulder. Great, great performance from William Nylander. Uh, we did hear a couple of loud pings. Yeah, we heard some posts, but I'm not going to say that Jake Allen was spectacular out there. He did his job. He had a good night, but I don't think he was spectacular. He didn't have to play out of this world like Carey Price did last season in the playoffs. Frank Rusty Nail says, "Who saw the All or Nothing documentary?" That's who did anyone see that? Because honestly, I've wanted to watch that. I didn't watch that though. I wanted to watch it, but I just couldn't put myself through that. I know there's probably some interesting perspectives, and it might be a good thing for me to watch, but I didn't want to put myself through that again. Maybe now that it's a new season, I'll go back and watch it. But I didn't want to watch it in the off season because I was very salty. I was very disappointed about last season. So as you all were. But I'm gonna go back and watch that definitely soon. Just I couldn't do it this off season. The documentary showed that Keefe is a great coach and is definitely not soft on the players. And yes, I did see a couple clips about that. I heard about uh, run in with Austin Matthews. Yeah, not soft on the players. You'd like to see that. It's great that he's a player's coach because I do believe he's a player's coach, but I don't think he's soft on the players. He wants to get the best out of his players every single night. Let's go. Seeing Campbell and Marner ball their eyes out after Game 7 was tough to watch. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that again. Why? It's probably a good idea for me to watch it. I will watch it. Yes, Joe, thank you for reminding me. I try to remember you're not watching it for the season, but all the office and the room stuff. They did deliver pretty good at that. And yeah, it's definitely a good thing to watch. Probably learn some stuff about the team. You definitely learn some stuff about the team that you didn't know before. Uh, get some inside access in the locker room that you wouldn't have in any other locker room. So uh, I'm gonna have to give it a watch. I will give the All or Nothing documentary a watch um, very soon. Very soon. I made this here. Justin Hall block shot. I made this caption for this show, just because how about that block shot from Justin Hall tonight? Justin Hall saved this game for the Maple Leafs. What a play, putting his body on the line out there. And this is familiar territory for Justin Hall. He blocks shots, he makes hits, he gets physical. That's his style of play defensively. But damn, I loved seeing that block shot at the end of the game, putting his body on the line, and that really helped the Maple Leafs secure this victory against Montreal in Game 1. That was in a big time moment. I think there's under 10 minutes left in the game when that happened. That goal goes in, the game probably goes to overtime, and you don't want that if you're the Leafs. Brian D says Marner was just average tonight. You know what? Mitch Marner, I think everyone's going to do this is this going to be the thing in this year's post-game shows? Is everyone going to say Mitch Marner was this or this or this? Like, I'm not pointing you out, Brian. I'm just saying, is everybody going to, because that's my feel. I think everybody's going to be really gunning for Marner out there. And I'm not saying you are, Brian, but it just feels as if a lot of Leafs Nation has kind of turned their back on him. And he's a very talented player. Maybe, I think, not maybe. I really think he's more motivated heading into the season, but we have to see it. We have to see him step up in the big time moments. And we want to see him do what he's done in the regular season every other year. Just come playoff time, we want to see him play better. I'm a big Marner fan, and he didn't impress much tonight. I'm okay with saying that. Yes, I'm good with saying that. He didn't impress tonight. No, didn't impress. But I just don't. I don't know if this is going to be a recurring theme. Is Mitch Marner going to be the topic of discussion every game? I don't know. What during the pregame intros, like the pregame player introductions, what player did you think got the grandest ovation? Because when I was watching it, I don't think it was. I don't think it was Austin Matthews. I don't think it was Mitch Marner. I feel like I heard crickets when Mitch Marner's name was called. Actually, um, the player that I think got the loudest ovation, respectfully so. Uh, Nevin says JT. That would make sense, and that's what I was expecting. But to me, it sounded like Jason Spezza and Wayne Simmons. It sounded to me like Wayne Simmons and Jason Spezza got really loud ovations out there tonight, and that's respectfully. You want to see that. Those are leaders on this team. These are the veterans that have been doing it for a really long time. That was my takeaway from the player introductions. That's Spezza and Simmons got the loudest introductions. Patterson says JT and Spezza, Tavares, Matthews. It might have been JT, but I don't know. I guess we hear things differently. Eh? Everybody hears everything differently, so maybe it's just what we want to hear. Who knows? Joseph Clark says, "Love to see all the boys are back." Yes, everybody's back here on Maple Leafs Media, and I'm back. It's going to be another great season and a much longer season. 82 game season. I'm not going to be here every single game. I'm going to do my best to be on here as much as I can, but I will have videos out all the time. All the time. Chris Patterson says, "Let's talk Bunting." What do you want to talk about? Michael Bunting. Yes, okay. Michael Bunting. Man, he's a little guy, but he plays with a lot of heart, doesn't he? He plays with a lot of heart, grit, and intensity. He got an assist in this opening game, and that he was just. I love to see how much heart he plays with. Michael Bunting. I think this is a guy that Toronto fans and media are really going to come to love. Michael Bunting, I feel like he's been a bit overhyped by the media, but saying that, I love the way he plays with heart and intensity. He's a solid player, and that's what he is brought in to do. He is brought in here to try to somehow help fill the void of Zach Hyman's loss, the loss of Zach Hyman and Joe Thornton. He was brought in here to try to help ease the pain of that a bit. And Bunting was in front of the net all game long. He was fighting for it. Like, that's exactly what you want to see from him. That's what he was brought in here to do. So, good job from Michael Bunting out there tonight, for sure. Richie and Bunting in front of the net on the first goal. Love it. And yeah, Bunting's a little guy, but he plays like he's a much bigger man because of the intensity and the heart that he's playing with. And Nick Ritchie out there, he's a massive man. He's a massive guy. He's gonna screen the goalie, and he's gonna do that really well. Another guy who's a big guy, and he's down to fight as well. I love to see it. Kudos to the new assistant coaches. The power play and penalty kill had different looks from preseason and into today's game. It will get better and better. One can hope, right? You got to hope that it's going to continue getting better and better. I'm optimistic about it because of how loaded this team is offensively. You have a new power play coach now, and I noticed some changes on the power play. I noticed more puck movement, and I noticed that William Nylander, that really stood out to me, that William Nylander was at the point on the power play. I like that look. That's what I would have had him doing last season and really for his entire career because he's so fast. He can go back and retrieve the pucks, kind of like what we've seen with Marner in the past. And then he's got a shot. He's got a nice shot. William Nylander's not going to, generally speaking, William Nylander's not going to get in front of the net, getting those get in front of the net and not block shots, but deflect a bunch of shots. That's not how he's going to score most of his goals. Most of his goals are going to be off shots, and he can get assists off deflections from the point too. That's why I did like what I saw from the power play. Some adjustments tonight. Yo, Bunting, Matthews, Marner. That'd be interesting. I'm interesting. Maybe Bunting, Matthew. I don't know what he's trying to say there. Some of you won't remember, but Tucker had that same hype as Bunting does when he came to the Leafs in 2000. Yeah, I don't remember that, but uh, Darcy Tucker was a fun player to watch. I will say that. That's for sure. Darcy Tucker had a lot of heart, grit, intensity. He was a fan favorite of this team for a reason. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell. First post-game stream of the season, and it's going to be a long one. I'm going to be here a ton throughout the season. I'm going to have some guests on, probably do some more interviews throughout the year as well. Recently, I had Mike Sigamanis on the show, so if you haven't checked it out, go back and check out my last interview with him. Some great content there. Big dubs tonight. Tucker is up there on my list of faves for sure. Yeah, Darcy Tucker's a fan favorite. Everyone loves it. Hey, Jake. Leafs win. Habs suck. Let's go. Let's go. Big dubs for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You'd love to see it. Game 1. 2-1 defeat over the Montreal Canadiens. Brayden says Canadiens overrated. You know what, Brayden? I'm not going to go that far. This team, man. Do you want to talk about the Leafs' injuries in their lineup? Let's be realistic about it, okay? Let's look at Montreal's injuries. They're hurting. They're hurting really bad. They're missing out on their captain Shea Weber and Carey Price, and on top of that, Joel Edmondson as well. I don't think the Montreal Canadiens are overrated. I think that was being said about them going into last year too. Actually, um, I don't think the Habs are overrated at all. Uh, no, they did just go to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. It's a different team, but I don't see them going back to the Stanley Cup Finals this year. I don't even think they're in the discussion for it, in my opinion. But they're not an overrated team. And ProGuide Entertainment says Habs are nothing without Price. Well, when you take a goalie of that caliber away from most teams, it's really going to hurt. Like if you took Vasilevsky away from the Tampa Bay Lightning, they've got a good team. They've got Kucherov, they've got Stamkos, they've got Hedman, and they've got plenty of other great players. But they are losing the best goalie in the world in Andrei Vasilevsky. So, I mean, you take that away from most teams, and it's really going to hurt them. I don't think they're overrated, but I also don't think they're rated that high. So it works out. Yeah, that's what that's what I think too. Anaheim up 2-0 over the Jets. Surprised. Hey, Anaheim Ducks. Nice start to the season for them so far. But I mean, I'm not sure what period it's in or anything. Don't really have a tracker. um, let's go. How are we feeling tonight, boys? Ladies and gentlemen, how are we feeling tonight? Big dubs to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Big dubs to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jake, do you think Leafs goalie combo Campbell and Mrazek is better than Freddie? ProGuide Entertainment, I've been going back and forth on this all off season long. It's really tough to answer that. We haven't even seen Peter Mrazek dress for a regular season game with the Toronto Maple Leafs, so I'd like to see that first before I definitively answer this. But do I think this goalie combo is going to work out better than Frederik Anderson does in Carolina? Um, I'm not sure. I have a scary gut feeling that Frederik Anderson's going to have a big bounce back year with the Carolina Hurricanes. And if that happens, we're not going to let's not just look at what Freddie does. Let's look at what Peter Mrazek does, and hopefully he makes contributions. Peter Mrazek's a very good goaltender. He's had better stats than Frederik Anderson over the past 2 years in just about every major statistical category there is for goalies. But he's also been playing behind a more technically sound defense with some better defensive players in Carolina. So I'm not sure. I think that this goalie combo, Campbell and Mrazek, can be really solid. But I'm worried about the injury problems. And the same injury problems exist with Frederik Anderson as they do with Jack Campbell and Peter Mrazek. Mrazek just coming off surgery last year, had a broken thumb. Jack Campbell, he missed some significant time last year as well. And he's had difficulty staying healthy throughout his career. He hasn't even played 100 games yet. So am I a bit worried? Yes, but after seeing Jack Campbell's reassuring performance tonight, I'm a bit more confident about it. Let's see what let's check out some other comments here. Best time of the year. My beer league started yesterday, and the Leafs are back, baby. I need to get in. I need to get in some beer league hockey. I need to do that. Brayden says, I think Mrazek is just like a backup. You know, Peter Mrazek's a solid goaltender. I'm excited to see how he performs with his new team, and that starts tomorrow against Ottawa. But uh, I'm interested to know why you say you think he's just like a backup. Why? Why is he just like a backup to you? Is it because of the amount of games he plays? Because he's been in a goalie share in Carolina with James Reimer for the majority of his career? Is that why? Or is it something else? Let me know. Frank Rusty Nail says Anderson is a good goalie, but Campbell, if remaining healthy, I think he can match Freddie's win record or better. Yeah, I think so. I think that, uh, well, actually, depends on how many games Frederick Anderson's going to play because I think Peter Mrazek is going to get some significant time. I don't think he's just going to play on back to backs. I think Peter Mrazek's going to come in here. He's going to play some more games than you'd think. Um, Jack Campbell's the number one goalie on this team for sure. There's no doubt about that. But matching Freddie's win record, it's going to be difficult. He might be able to do it though if you're considering the division as well. Both divisions are pretty tough, but the Metro is loaded top to bottom. So we'll see. Baseball 27. What are your thoughts on the new Sportsnet look? I liked it. I like the new Sportsnet look. I think it looks more modern, and you know, it's a cool new studio they got there. And we did play Frederick Anderson, yeah, nonstop. Frederick Anderson was in a lot of games with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and a lot of times just too often. There were too many seasons where Frederick Anderson played far too many games, and by the end of the season, come playoff time, he was worn out. So yeah, it helps to have a duo here. Baseball 27. Do you think this year's roster is better than last year's roster? Like opening day roster or just roster like if we're talking opening day roster, probably not. Either way, it's last year's in my opinion, honestly. I think last year's team was built better. I Zach Hyman's a significant loss and that really kind of sways me in the direction of last year's team. Yeah, remember how many 50 plus game shots or 50 games that Frederick Anderson was facing 50 or more shots. Yeah. Frederick Anderson was getting bombarded with shots, constantly over 30 shots a game. Defense was lackluster for most of Frederick Anderson's time in Toronto. Last year, not the same problem. Frederick Anderson just had a really bad year last year. He's struggling with injuries as well. Uh, yeah, he I think he was a solid goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he should be appreciated. They lost Hyman and Freddie, so I think they were better last year. I still think they could come in first in the Atlantic this year. Brayden, your hopes are high for the Leafs. First in the Atlantic Division. That's going to be difficult. Um, it could happen. I sure hope it happens. I'd love that. But I think that the Leafs are going to be in a dogfight to make the playoffs this year. And I, I'm not saying that they're going to get a wild card, but I think they're going to be in a dogfight to get either a wild card or one of those last two spots in the Atlantic Division. I don't think they're going to win the Atlantic. I think their ceiling is second place in the Atlantic Division, and I could also see them making a wild card. But let's just let's just make it clear that this isn't a lock for playoffs. This team's not a lock for playoffs. It's an 82 game season now. So much can happen throughout that season. So much is going to happen. Hopefully not too many injuries. Hopefully it's not an injury riddled season for the Maple Leafs, but you know, it's a long year and sure they could come first, but I don't really see them coming first in this Atlantic Division with Tampa, Boston, Florida. Ottawa's been some kryptonite to the Toronto Maple Leafs over the past few years as well. So yeah, Brayden says I don't even care because I'm a Flyers fan. I'm gonna go to that Flyers Leafs game, April 19th. It's game number 77 on the Maple Leaf schedule. I'll be at that one. I'm looking forward to that. How do you feel we win? The real Nick Suzuki. I'm getting a lot of different vibes from the real Nick Suzuki here, because profile picture Seattle Kraken, Nick Suzuki, Montreal Canadiens, and then how do you feel we win? Toronto Maple Leafs win or Seattle win? I don't know, but it feels good to see the Leafs win. Oh yeah, Kraken didn't win last night, and I don't think they played tonight. So let's talk about the Leafs. Feels good. Feels good to see a Leafs win. Woo! Let's go. Feels good to see it. Like I said, 582 days was the last time Leafs fans had access into Scotiabank Arena for a home Toronto Maple Leafs game. And tonight was special. It was a great atmosphere. Just watching on the couch from home, just watching that atmosphere on TV. It looked great. It looked like a great place to be. And I'm excited for this 82 game season. I can't wait. I'm gonna be here doing these post game shows throughout the entire season. Not every single game, as I've said, but I'm gonna do as much as I can. I'm gonna be on here as often as I can. I'll be here tomorrow night against Ottawa. Saturday night, I will not be streaming. I will be streaming next Monday night. I'm gonna try to, at least, against when the Leafs host the Rangers. So yeah, lots of stuff coming up for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A full season ahead of us, and I'm hyped up. I know you are too. Thank you for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for other content on Maple Leafs Media. Until next time, I'm your guy, Jake. Just for you. Just for you. There you go. Have a good night, everybody.